have signed executive orders to keep the United States at the forefront of artificial intelligence and to end Joe Biden's war on Bitcoin and crypto. We ended that war totally. That war is over. They were very hostile toward them until the very end, just because there's so many people on Bitcoin and crypto that just before the end, the SEC came out and they were being very nice. I was so nice to people because so many people were being indicted for no reason whatsoever. Very political group of people. That's all they did was they liked indicting people. But they were being indicted, and many of those indictments were dropped just before the election because they said, wait a minute, there's 100 million, 125 million people using this, and they didn't want to have, you know, all these people being voted against. But by the time they did that, it was too late. We had that vote entirely, I think. I think anybody was smart that believed in that, and there were a lot of people believing it. Anybody that was smart voted for Trump. And they pulled the indictments, and I see people that were indicted. I said, I saved your life. I saved your life. Because if they thought that, they actually thought that I was doing it, they said, why is Trump doing it? Is he doing it for political reasons? I don't do anything for political reasons. I do what's right. I want to be in the forefront of every industry.
So now that Donald Trump is saying that the war on Bitcoin and crypto is officially over, everyone wants to know, why is the crypto market still down with us just barely out of the levels of fear, sitting at about 40 on the crypto fear and greed index? And also, why do so many people in Washington, D.C. want the war between Russia and Ukraine to continue forever? Well, in this video, we have to talk about what Donald Trump just posted about the war in Ukraine, them planning to live stream the gold reserves in Fort Knox, the SEC making a major announcement to come to the crypto industry, one altcoin that Donald Trump holds millions of dollars of in his portfolio, and what this means for the path to alt season, and when we are expecting the altcoin market to make a massive recovery. But more important than that, 4 things that you can do in a boring market to still make money in crypto while the vast majority of people sell out of their portfolios, they leave the market, and then they come back buying the rallies when the markets start to break out again. So you guys are going to love this video. Comment 777 if you're feeling blessed, if you're feeling bullish, if you're still holding, and if you're going to become the first millionaire in your family tree, confirm it by tapping the subscribe button. Let's run it. All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So while Donald Trump announces that the war on crypto is officially over, if he were full of malice and spite for Ukraine, he would continue funding the war that has claimed hundreds of thousands of Ukrainian lives, but he's doing the opposite. He's negotiating for peace. He made this post yesterday saying, think of it, a modest, successful comedian. Zelensky talked the United States of America into spending $350 billion to go into a war that couldn't be won. They never had to start, but a war that he, without the US and Trump, will never be able to settle. The United States has spent $200 billion more than Europe, and Europe's money is guaranteed, while the United States will get nothing back. Why didn't sleepy Joe Biden demand equalization? In that this war is far more important to Europe than it is to us. We have a big, beautiful ocean of separation. On top of this, Zelensky admits that half of the money sent to him is missing. He refused to have elections, is very low in Ukrainian polls, and the only thing he was good at was playing Biden like a fiddle. A dictator without elections, Zelensky better move fast or he is not going to have a country left. In the meantime, we are successfully negotiating an end to the war with Russia, something all admit that only the Trump administration can do. Biden never even tried. Europe has failed to bring peace, and Zelensky probably wants to keep the gravy train going. The country is shattered and millions have unnecessarily died, and so it continues. Now, there's a lot of debates in the comments of people disagreeing with him, saying they're shocked and alarmed by his statements, accusing Ukraine of starting a war, calling Zelensky a dictator, and at the same time applauding Putin while suggesting concessions to Russia. This is not leadership, it's a betrayal of democracy and endorsement of an enemy. So you're always going to have Karens like this in the comments saying one thing or another. The whole point here is to end the war and stop sending money to Ukraine that doesn't need to go there, that goes missing. Because there has been so much money that has been unaccounted for within the government, within the military, accounting for the US national debt, and the Department of Government Efficiency is uncovering a lot of this. Look at it now, it's $117 billion. And so now we see Elon Musk posting a video of Trump talking about live streaming the gold reserves in Fort Knox. Check this out.
We're going to go into Fort Knox to make sure the gold is there.
Are they going to?
You know that we're going to go into Fort Knox. Do you know about that?
Sir,
That was a bad bump.
are they going to eliminate more national security positions, civilians there?
We'll see what happens. But one of the things we do want to look, I mean, we hope everything's fine with Fort Knox, but we're going to go to Fort Knox, the fabled Fort Knox, to make sure the gold is there.
Where would the gold have gone?
If the gold isn't there, we're going to be very upset.
So for all we know, they've been taking money out of Fort Knox forever and saying that the reserves are there when they're actually not. So we'll see. But either way, breaking news is hitting with the SEC right now announcing a cyber and emerging technologies unit to protect retail investors, so they say, to combat misconduct as it relates to security transactions in priority areas such as fraud involving blockchain technology and crypto assets. So as long as it's fair regulation, fair enforcement, then cool. Yeah, it's definitely needed to prevent people like Dave Portnoy from, launching rugs and, prevent anyone and everyone from launching some project that is diluting the whole entire industry. Because if you guys go to coinmarketcap.com in the upper left-hand corner, last bull run, there was like 20,000 to 40,000 projects. Now look at this, 11.67 million cryptocurrencies. Brad Garlinghouse said it best. He says, watch 99% of the industry go away. And that's going to be happening. It just has to go through a new head of the SEC now rather than Gary Gensler. And so what's going to be taking place is going to be massive for the large cap projects for liquidity to flow back into utility plays. So this is why Trump is now buying certain cryptocurrencies, and some of which he hasn't disclosed yet, but one of which is Ethereum. He now owns over 500 million of Ethereum. So he knows something that the average retail investor doesn't know. And what is that? Well, if we look at Ethereum to the US dollar price chart on the 3-day, Ethereum has been lagging behind Bitcoin. If we look at the last cycle, we saw this golden cross right here after COVID when the 50 crossed above the 200, and then the price broke out, consolidates, breaks out, consolidates, breaks out. And during this yellow phase of the Bitcoin stock to flow rainbow indicator, it was a massive rapid breakout. Right now, we didn't really see that. Everyone was expecting Ethereum to break out during this first initial pump off of the 200 moving average on the right-hand side of the screen and consolidate for a little bit and then break out further. However, the pullback for Ethereum was a lot more steep than people expected, but it's still holding this ascending support right here and also consolidating right on the 200 moving average. And so this is super important for Ethereum to break out, because typically the path to alt season goes through Ethereum, but we've really seen multiple different large caps pump. Meme coins have drained a lot of liquidity out of projects like Ethereum or Solana. We saw an AI bull run. We saw real world assets run. So Ethereum currently is not outperforming Bitcoin, and we haven't heard talks of the flipping this bull run cycle. But when we look at the Ethereum to the Bitcoin price chart, we can see some key things here on the weekly chart. Looking at the stochastic RSI, and you guys can see right now the D line is 11, the K line is at 5.9. So we are in oversold conditions below 20, which is actually a great sign, because if we were all the way up here above 80, that would be a bad sign that Ethereum is going to underperform Bitcoin even more. But the fact that we've seen the stochastic RSI reset is a good sign that we could be seeing a potential reversal come for Ethereum, because look at the last time that we saw the 200 SMA in red cross above the 50 was on May of 2019. Well, the stochastic RSI was all the way up here at like 76 for both the K line and the D line. We saw a bearish cross, and then we saw Ethereum underperform relative to Bitcoin and drop even more to the downside. Then we found a bottom. The stochastic RSI formed a bullish cross all the way down here, well below 20, and we saw a double bottom trend reversal, where you guys can see bottom number 1 right here, the price bounce up, bottom number 2 right here, and then we see the neckline, where once Ethereum broke the neckline, it came back down to back test it, consolidated at it for a little bit, rallied all the way up to the 200, and then ultimately stayed on top of the 50 moving average for the rest of that bull run until we broke below it all the way in May of 2022 during the bear market. And so what we saw happen here recently, well, not that recent, but it was April of 2024, we saw the 200 cross above the 50. A death cross is what this is. When a shorter time frame moving average crosses below a longer, that's a death cross. So we saw a death cross, just like we saw happen right here from May of 2019. Sure enough, shortly after that, we saw the stochastic RSI top out right here above 80, and we saw a bearish cross for it to come back down. Ethereum dropped all the way down here. Now, once we see a bullish cross below 20 down here, I would just expect there to be some type of bounce for Ethereum to Bitcoin, and for Ethereum's price chart to see a recovery as well too. And so this is why we're now see Trump buying a lot of Ethereum. And this is a great sign for the rest of the altcoin market, because when people see Ethereum start to recover, guess where money's going to flow? Into other large caps when Ethereum has been outperforming Bitcoin, similar to what happened last altcoin bull run. It's just taking a little bit longer and Ethereum's bleeding out more than Bitcoin. But as regulation comes to the industry, what projects do you guys think are going to run? Well, the layer ones are going to be some of the main ones. So for example, BitTensor Tau, Sonic, SEI, Injective, Sui, HBAR, TIA, Telcoin, and of course, XRP. When you look at Truth Social right here, Trump has been posting a lot frequently on this. Well, 2 days ago, he posted this saying Donald Trump effect bumps Ripple Labs. And this article right here is talking about the shift in focus towards US markets, which is believed to be making crypto more favorable in the US with US-based companies. Now, Ripple is a US-based company, and Ripple signed more US deals in the last 6 weeks of 2024 than the previous 6 months, indicating a positive business environment post-election, because with the shift in US markets and expanding crypto in the United States through favorable regulation, a new SEC chair, this is even more of a bullish catalyst for retail investors and even institutional investors to start piling into US-based companies. And today, Brad Garlinghouse said that 75% of Ripple's open roles are now US-based. And he added that the company is almost exclusively hiring in the United States, which is a shift from their expansion offshore during the previous Joe Biden administration. And this is why we've seen XRP perform incredibly well over the past year. Now, Ripple's going to dominate over the next few years because of tokenization. So listen to what David Schwartz has to say about how tokenization can improve efficiency.
I think if someone can't explain something in 60 seconds, they probably don't understand it. I'm David Schwartz, and this is Crypto in a Minute. Tokenization can improve efficiency by eliminating some of the problems with asset transfer and ownership. If you've ever bought a house, you know that it's very complicated to determine who owns a house. There's a lot of paperwork involved with the sale, recording the sale. There's a risk of fraud in the delivery of the payment and, of course, in being able to prove ownership of the asset. Tokenization can eliminate all those problems by using digital distributed ledgers to track the ownership of assets. That also simplifies things like if you want to borrow against an asset, use the asset for collateral, the person who's providing you the loan can more easily determine that you own the asset, and they can make sure that you aren't borrowing from a number of different lenders. Boom. Didn't even take a minute.
So with all this bullish fundamental news taking place, people are wondering, why is the crypto market not taking off and why is your portfolio not going up? Well, global liquidity needs to increase as well too. So there's 4 things that you can do in a boring market to still make money. I thought this was a great post by Miles, because this is what we teach inside of Altcoin Pro University. We have our weekly calls with our research team that you guys can check out through the link in the description below. Watch this 26-minute video and see everything that you get access to right here. But number 1, DeFi. There's lots of incentives right now. For example, on Sonic, which for those of you guys didn't know, Phantom rebranded to Sonic with new products. And in December of 2024, Ryan posted this airdrop alert for Sonic, and you guys could have benefited from that to basically earn some free income there. So our research team is finding all of these airdrops underneath the airdrop picks inside of Altcoin Pro University within the DeFi space to help you guys make more money. For example, Floki just did an airdrop. Unit and Hype are doing an airdrop. Eclipse is doing an airdrop. Layer is doing an airdrop. We have so many other opportunities for you guys to make money in the crypto market. And don't just take my word for it. Watch the video in the description below and also check out some of these results. Eric Rockhard here took $85K and turned it into over $305,000 before the 2024 alt season. He said, "Thank you, bull runners. With your advice, I've been able to convert 85K to 305K in 6 months and still waiting for the top. I've never seen a 3x return on investment in my life." Herschel Bentley said he got into Sui at 75 cents, and I think Sui's still over $3 today. Cliff Hansen getting massive value on the weekly calls. This person right here paid off $27K off their mortgage. And like I said, don't just believe me, guys. Join the community and you'll see how happy people are on the inside. So right now, if you're looking for other opportunities other than just XRP, then DeFi has plenty to take advantage of right now. So number 2, you can learn to trade, or at least learn the basics. It's never too late to learn something new. For example, in the back office underneath Classroom, we have our technical analysis essentials coming soon, and also live calls teaching you guys technical analysis for you to be able to master crypto trading. So when you join Altcoin Pro University right now, you're going to get access to that. Also, number 3, consolidate your portfolio into high conviction assets where you can research new protocols, learn about the projects of the future, because you have to have a strategy that allows you to adapt in order to thrive. So you can go through our altcoin research methodologies right here. And we have step-by-step instructional videos like initial quantitative research, going deeper on Deck Screener, reviewing token social socials, token distribution bubble maps, navigating blockchain explorers, utilizing on-chain wallet trackers, tracking whale wallets, insider wallets, diving deep into tokenomics, intro to DeFi Llama research, identifying trading narratives, and the list goes on and on and on. And number 4, pair trading. It's particularly effective if you want to maintain delta neutrality, but you have a bias regarding a specific coin. More people should take advantage of this approach. So all of these strategies are offered inside of Altcoin Pro University. We have announcements, different market updates every single day, altcoin picks as well too, DeFi yield picks, airdrops, more crypto news on top of what you're getting on this channel for free, community picks as well too. So if you guys have some altcoin picks that you spot and you want to help people win in our community, then go share them in there. And you'll even get our research team to comment on your posts and answer your questions as well too, Q&A. And if you've made money with us, then post your wins in that too. And if you want to be featured on the Bull Runners channel, I would love to share your guys' story on how we've helped you make money over the years. Because right now we have about 1,100 members that have joined, and we've helped people make millions of dollars over the past few years. And we've helped tons of people make hundreds of thousands, lots of people make their first dollar online. So you can get started, only $97, guys. Worst case scenario, it's not for you. We have a 30-day money-back guarantee. You learn something new within your first 30 days and it's not the right thing for you, that's fine. Best case scenario, we help you completely transform your life and make as much money as you want to make. Now, I'm not going to guarantee any specific results because, as always, results aren't typical. I'm not a financial advisor. Don't buy, don't sell anything we talk about. These videos are purely for educational, informational purposes only, but there have been people that have listened to what we've said and have gotten massive results. And if you want to hear some of their stories and get access to everything that's included through the link in the description below, then check that out. Watch the video. It'll only take 26 minutes of your time. So I've got to run. I got to get in my truck. I got to back it up all the way to the bank. I have to grab the bags, pack them and stack them, leave no bags left behind because the spending power of the dollar is going down in value. That's a fact based on inflation. Blockchain technology, distributed ledger technology, and cryptocurrencies have been going up in value over time. That's the truth. And together, we're all running to the top. So I'll see you guys in the next video. I will see you on bullrunners.com through the link in the description below when you join Altcoin Pro University right now. As always, you know what to do. Stay bullish.